Have you ever wondered whether the Ark of the Covenant really existed, or if it's just a myth shrouded in mystery and faith? Described in the Bible as an artifact bearing the power of God, capable of toppling walls, defeating armies, and manifesting divine presence, the Ark remains one of history's greatest enigmas. If it was so real and powerful, where is it now? And more importantly, how did it disappear? The lack of definitive answers turns the Ark into a puzzle that continues to captivate humanity. Get ready for a journey through facts, theories, and symbolism that might change your perspective on faith, history, and the power the Ark still represents today. The Ark of the Covenant, one of the most fascinating artifacts described in the Bible, was not merely an ornate chest. It was the most powerful symbol of God's presence among the Israelites. Imagine a sacred object that held the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, inscribed by the very finger of God. It wasn't just wood overlaid with gold. It was a testament to the covenant between God and His people, a constant reminder of His guidance and authority. No wonder the stories surrounding it are filled with reverence and mystery. The power attributed to the Ark is almost unimaginable. It was carried ahead in battles, ensuring impossible victories. Who could forget the account of the walls of Jericho, which fell after the Ark was carried around the city? This illustrates how, in many instances, the Ark represented more than a physical object. It was a channel of divine intervention. Imagine living with such a symbol of God's favor visibly guiding your decisions. But the Ark was not an object to be treated lightly. The Bible makes it clear that those who disrespected it faced dire consequences. A striking example is Uzzah, who touched the Ark to prevent it from falling and was immediately struck down. This story reminds us of God's holiness and the importance of treating the sacred with respect and reverence. It's a powerful reminder of the boundaries that exist and the responsibility required when approaching the divine. Furthermore, the Ark played a central role in religious rituals. It was housed in the Holy of Holies, the most sacred part of the tabernacle, accessible only to the high priest once a year on the Day of Atonement. This reinforces the idea that, while God was present with His people, there was a profound mystery and a symbolic barrier between humanity and the divine. It's an invitation for us to reflect on our own connection with God and how we approach Him with reverence. Curiously, the Ark was a meeting point between heaven and earth. Above it was the mercy seat, surrounded by cherubim, where God's glory was manifested. It was here that prayers and sacrifices were offered, making the Ark a symbol of divine mercy and forgiveness. Think about it. Even in His absolute holiness, God provided a way for people to reconcile with Him. Could this remind us of how grace still operates in our lives today? The story of the Ark also reveals how God chose to work through visible means to communicate spiritual truths. In a world where many question God's presence, the Ark challenges us to see beyond the physical and recognize how the divine can manifest in tangible ways. What are the signs of God's presence in your life today? Perhaps they are closer than you think. Yet, like all things shrouded in mystery, the story of the Ark doesn't end with clear explanations. It disappeared at some point in history, leaving behind a legacy of questions and speculations. And it is this very disappearance that opens the door to intriguing theories and fascinating historical investigations. The disappearance of the Ark of the Covenant is one of history's great mysteries, and over the centuries, many theories have been proposed to explain what might have happened to this sacred artifact. One of the most widely accepted hypotheses is that the Ark was destroyed during the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem in 586 BC, when Solomon's temple was plundered and razed. Imagine the devastation, a central symbol of God's presence seemingly lost forever. This theory reflects the profound impact Jerusalem's fall had on the people of Israel. Another intriguing possibility is that the Ark was hidden before the invasion, in some remote location, perhaps in the caves of the Judean desert. There are interesting parallels with the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were also concealed for centuries. Could zealous priests have saved the Ark, preserving it somehow? The idea of something so powerful lying dormant, waiting to be discovered, continues to fuel the imagination of scholars and treasure hunters alike. And we cannot ignore the theories pointing to Ethiopia. According to local traditions, the Ark was transported to Aksum, where it is said to remain to this day in the chapel of St. Mary of Zion. It's fascinating to think that such an iconic artifact could be hiding in plain sight, guarded by generations of dedicated custodians. However, the secrecy surrounding the chapel makes it difficult to confirm this story. This raises an important question. To what extent does the mystery keep the reverence for the Ark alive? Some theories also suggest that the Ark might have been taken to Egypt during the flight into exile, hidden among the sacred objects carried by the Jews. Others speculate about its location in distant lands, such as Yemen or sub-Saharan Africa. These ideas, while fascinating, often lack concrete evidence. But like any great story, they invite us to reflect on the symbolic value of the Ark, regardless of its physical location. There are also those who believe the Ark was buried beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem during preparations for the Babylonian siege. This theory is particularly appealing to archaeologists, but the political and religious complexities surrounding the site make significant exploration nearly impossible. It's a reminder of how the past and present often intertwine in unpredictable ways. Despite all the theories, what is most impressive is how the story of the Ark continues to live on in the collective imagination. It is not just a historical or religious object, but a symbol of faith, mystery, and power. Its physical absence might even amplify its impact, challenging us to seek meaning beyond the tangible. After all, could the Ark's true legacy be more about what it represents than where it is? As we delve into accounts and traditions, a new question emerges. What do the Bible and archaeology tell us about the possible existence and nature of the Ark? It's time to explore the evidence. The Ark of the Covenant occupies a central place in the Bible, repeatedly mentioned as a symbol of God's presence and power. From its construction under Moses' detailed instructions to its last mention in 2 Chronicles, the Ark is portrayed as a unique artifact. The richness of the biblical details, including its exact dimensions and gold overlay, leaves little doubt about its significance. But do these accounts have a basis in concrete evidence, or are they steeped in mythology? Interestingly, there are archaeological parallels that help contextualize the Arkansas artifacts discovered in Egypt and Canaan show that ancient peoples built ornate chests for religious purposes, some even designed to carry sacred objects. This suggests that the idea of an artifact like the Ark was not isolated. However, the Bible sets it apart, describing it not merely as a container but as the place where God's glory was manifested. It's a perfect example of how the sacred can elevate the ordinary to something transcendent. Scholars also point to inscriptions and reliefs in Egyptian and Phoenician temples depicting ceremonies involving objects similar to the Arkansas. These comparisons help us understand the cultural context in which Israel was situated but raise the question: to what extent was the Ark unique? The answer, it seems, lies in what it symbolized: a direct connection to the living God, something no other culture claimed so boldly. Excavations in ancient Israel, while fascinating, have yet to yield definitive proof of the Ark's existence. However, the absence of evidence does not necessarily mean evidence of absence. Many biblical sites were discovered years or even centuries after being considered mere legends. Think of Jericho, for example, whose collapsed walls were excavated with evidence dating back to the biblical account. This keeps hope alive that the Ark, too, might one day be revealed. Another intriguing aspect is the blend of historical and mythological elements in the biblical accounts. While the Bible provides precise details, such as the use of carved cherubim, it also describes miraculous events associated with the ark, such as rivers parting and enemies being defeated. This raises questions about how to interpret these texts. Are they literal descriptions or metaphors for something greater? What matters, perhaps, is how these stories shape the faith and identity of a people. Some modern theories suggest that the ark might have contained radioactive materials, explaining its supernatural effects. While intriguing, this hypothesis lacks scientific support and seems more suited to a movie plot. Nevertheless, it highlights how the ark continues to captivate our imagination, inspiring both faith and speculation. Thus, the combination of archaeological evidence, cultural parallels, and biblical accounts keeps the search for the ark alive, both as a physical object and as a powerful idea. But if history and archaeology don't provide definitive answers, what about current speculations about its location? Let's explore these possibilities. The current whereabouts of the Ark of the Covenant remain a mystery that fascinates scholars, religious figures, and curious minds worldwide. Among the most well-known theories is the idea that the Ark was taken to Aksum, Ethiopia, where it is said to be kept in the chapel of Saint Mary of Zion. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Ark was brought to the country by Menelik I, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. It's thrilling to imagine such a significant artifact hidden there, but the lack of public access and concrete evidence keeps this story in the realm of speculation. Another intriguing hypothesis suggests that the ark was hidden on Mount Nebo in Jordan before the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. The Bible mentions this location as the place where Moses saw the Promised Land for the last time. Could the priests, aware of the impending danger, have taken the ark there? Although excavations in the area have revealed ancient artifacts, none have been directly linked to the ark, leaving this theory open to interpretation. Jerusalem, however, remains a major focal point of speculation. Many believe the ark may be buried beneath the Temple Mount, where Solomon's temple once stood. This theory is particularly fascinating, but the political and religious sensitivities surrounding the site make detailed excavations nearly impossible. Imagine the impact of such a discovery at one of the world's holiest sites. There are also those who believe the ark was taken to Europe during the Crusades, possibly hidden by the Knights Templar. While this theory has been widely discredited by scholars, it remains popular in pop culture, fueling stories of adventure and mystery. The idea that a secret group might still be protecting the ark in some remote location in Europe is fascinating but lacks historical evidence. Another line of thought suggests that the ark may have been destroyed or dismantled during the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem. While this idea seems bleak, it doesn't diminish the symbolic impact of the Arkansas. Even if the physical object is lost, the spiritual meaning it carries remains alive in Jewish and Christian traditions. Speculations don't stop there. Some theories point to more distant locations, such as caves in Saudi Arabia or even remote islands. While these stories seem unlikely, they highlight how the ark has transcended its original context, becoming a universal symbol of mystery and power. It's as if the very mystery surrounding its location is part of its divine purpose. And so, the search for the ark continues, not just as an archaeological quest but as a spiritual exploration. After all, is the true significance of the ark in its physical location, or in the impact it still has on our faith and imagination? This reflection leads us to ask, what can the history and legend of the ark teach us today? After all we've explored about the Ark of the Covenant, one inevitable question remains. How does this mystery impact your life today? The Ark may be more than a lost artifact. It symbolizes the direct connection between God and humanity, a reminder that there is something greater guiding our stories. Are we attentive to the signs of the divine in our own lives? Or are we letting opportunities to connect with the sacred in our daily lives pass us by? Now, think. What can you do to seek that connection? Perhaps it's through a sincere prayer, a deep reflection on your faith, or even revisiting the Bible's stories with a fresh perspective. The story of the Ark isn't just about the past. It's an invitation to strengthen our spirituality in the present. After all, we don't need a physical artifact to experience the power and presence of God. And if this content stirred something within you, why not continue this journey? Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to explore more topics like this one. Oh, and don't forget to check out the videos appearing on the screen now, each one designed to enrich your journey of faith and understanding. See you in the next video. Until then, remember, the greatest discovery isn't in the relics of the past, but in what they teach us about the present and who we truly are.